The electrician acted like he'd seen my wife before. Then he called her by a different name. My wife froze, her coffee mug suspended halfway to her lips. "My name is Diana," she said, her voice very high. The electrician turned red. "Sorry, you just look exactly like this girl, Crystal." Diana quickly excused herself to the bathroom. The electrician continued working uncomfortably, and I caught him glancing toward the hallway where Diana had disappeared. "How do you know my wife?" I finally asked. He dropped his screwdriver and scrambled to pick it up. I was just confused," but he wouldn't look at me. After he left, Diana came back acting like nothing happened. She was checking her phone every few seconds. That night after she went to bed, I Googled Crystal, along with some physical descriptions of Diana. What came up made my stomach drop. Adult entertainment sites, preview videos, a woman who looked exactly like my wife doing things I couldn't process. Crystal Diamond, it said, with hundreds of videos over the past 3 years. The same 3 years Diana had been working from home as a freelance consultant. I clicked through page after page, each video dated and time-stamped during her supposed work hours. The butterfly tattoo on her hip was visible in every video, the same one Diana had gotten for our anniversary. "You're Crystal Diamond," I said when Diana came down for breakfast. She dropped her plate, and it shattered on the tile floor, scrambled eggs splattering everywhere. She didn't even try to deny it, just sank into a chair and started crying, but the tears seemed practiced and hollow. "Where's the money?" I asked, because these sites showed view counts in the millions. "Where's all the money from 3 years of videos?" Diana stopped crying immediately and looked at me with an expression I'd never seen before, calculating and cold. $470,000, she said. "Offshore accounts you'll never touch." I had to grab the counter to stay standing. We'd been eating ramen for months, behind on every bill, and she had nearly $500,000 hidden away. I'd been working 60-hour weeks at the warehouse, destroying my backloading trucks, taking every overtime shift they offered while she sat on a fortune. The electricity had been shut off twice last year, and we'd sat in the dark for days each time, lighting candles like it was the 1800s. I'd sold my father's truck, the 1969 Ford he'd restored with his own hands before he died, just to pay for her mother's funeral. $3,000 I'd gotten for a truck worth $20,000 because I'd needed the money fast, and Diana had cried about how guilty she felt that we couldn't afford a proper service. "I make $3,000 in a weekend doing private shows," she said now, like it was nothing. Private shows meant meeting clients in hotels, and she explained it like discussing grocery shopping. The girlfriend experience, where men paid $5,000 to pretend she was theirs for a night. Our anniversary dinner when she'd claimed food poisoning. Our nephew's graduation she'd missed for a work emergency. My promotion celebration she'd skipped for a migraine. All lies, all bookings, all documented on her Crystal Diamond booking calendar I could see on the website. She'd been meeting strangers for money while I thought she was building a consulting business from home. She'd watched me skip meals so she could eat. Watched me tape my work boots together because we couldn't afford new ones. "Why?" I asked, and my voice sounded broken even to me. Diana shrugged and stood up, grabbing her keys from the counter. "Because I could," she said simply. "The house is in my name anyway. The refinancing documents I'd signed 6 months ago without reading them, because I trusted my wife completely. She told me it would lower our interest rate and help us save money we desperately needed. Instead, she'd removed me from the deed entirely while I'd been focused on making ends meet. 3 years of marriage turned into a lie. 3 years of pretending to struggle beside me while she built her secret empire as Crystal Diamond. "I have a shoot in an hour," she said, checking her phone like we'd been discussing the weather. "Downtown at the Marriott, if you're wondering." "You can't just leave," I said, but she was already at the door with her purse and jacket. Diana turned back with a cold smile I'd never seen in 7 years together. "The house is mine, remember?" she said. "I'll need you out by the weekend so I can set up a proper studio in the basement. A studio for Crystal Diamond. In the house I'd spent 3 years maintaining and improving." She pulled out her phone and scrolled through something, that cruel smile getting wider as she typed. "By the way," she added, not even looking up from the screen, "you should probably get tested. The clinic on 3rd Street does walk-ins on Tuesdays. Mention me and